HOA posted fake violations on my cabin, so I marked their clubhouse as Trespasser HQ. Eli's cabin sat on the edge of Willow Creek, a splinter of freedom carved from pine and sweat. For years, he'd lived quietly, tending his garden, ignoring the whispers of the Willow Homeowners Association. But Karen, the HOA president, had other plans. Her clipboard was her scepter, her smile a blade. When notices started piling up, fake violations about his fence height, his unpainted shed, his unkempt wildflowers, Eli's patience frayed. Each fine was a jab, each letter a slap. Karen's crusade wasn't about rules. It was about power. The breaking point came on a crisp June morning. Eli found a neon orange notice nailed to his door. Final warning. Demolish unauthorized structure or face eviction. His cabin wasn't unauthorized. He'd built it on land his grandfather left him, deed and all. But Karen's HOA had connections, and truth was a flimsy shield against their ink. Eli's blood boiled. He wasn't just fighting for his home. He was fighting for his dignity. That night, under a moonless sky, Eli struck back. He didn't torch their clubhouse or scream at their meetings. He was smarter. He printed a single sign, bold letters on stark white, Trespasser HQ, Willow HOA Clubhouse. He planted it dead center in their manicured lawn, right where Karen's prized petunias bloomed. By dawn, the neighborhood buzzed. Phones lit up with photos, ex-posts calling it legendary. Karen's face, when she saw it, was a masterpiece of rage. But Eli underestimated her. Karen didn't just rip the sign down. She doubled down. She filed a police report, claiming Eli had vandalized HOA property. She rallied her loyalist neighbors who feared her wrath or craved her approval. They picketed Eli's cabin, chanting about community standards. Eli stood on his porch, arms crossed, staring them down. Inside, his heart raced. He'd wanted justice, not war. Enter Maggie, the twist no one saw coming. A quiet widow in her 60s. She'd lived next to the clubhouse for decades. Everyone thought she was Karen's ally, always nodding at meetings, baking cookies for HOA events. But Maggie had a secret. Years ago, Karen had bullied her into selling a strip of her land for the clubhouse, promising it would benefit the community. Maggie got pennies. Karen got praise. When Maggie saw Eli's sign, something snapped. She didn't join the picket line. Instead, she slipped Eli a faded document. The original land deed, proving the clubhouse sat on stolen ground. Eli's eyes widened. This was dynamite. He could have gone to court, exposed Karen's fraud, and ended her reign. But he hesitated. Maggie's hands trembled as she handed him the deed. "I should have fought back then," she whispered. "Don't make my mistake." Eli saw her pain, her regret. This wasn't just his fight anymore. The confrontation came at the annual HOA picnic. Karen, in a crisp blazer, was mid-speech about unity when Eli strode in, Maggie at his side. The crowd hushed. Eli held up the deed, his voice steady but searing. "This clubhouse? Built on lies. Karen stole Maggie's land, and you all let her." Gasps rippled. Karen's smile froze. She stammered, deflecting. But the crowd's eyes shifted to Maggie, frail but unyielding. For the first time, Karen looked small. Then came the gut punch. Karen's husband, Tom, a meek accountant who'd always trailed her like a shadow, stepped forward. His voice shook. "It's true. I helped her forge the paperwork." The crowd erupted. Karen's allies turned on her, demanding answers. Eli didn't gloat. He felt no victory, only exhaustion. Maggie squeezed his arm, tears in her eyes. The aftermath was chaos. The HOA dissolved. Karen and Tom left town, their legacy in tatters. Maggie reclaimed her strip of land, planting a small garden where the clubhouse once stood. Eli's cabin was safe, but the victory tasted bitter. Neighbors who cheered him now avoided his gaze, ashamed of their silence. The community he'd fought for felt hollow, fractured by years of fear and complicity. Eli sat on his porch one evening, staring at his wildflowers. He'd won, but at what cost? Karen was gone. But the distrust she'd sown lingered. Maggie's courage had saved him, yet her story haunted him decades of silence, a life dimmed by regret. He wondered if he'd have done the same, stayed quiet to survive. What do you think? Was Eli's rebellion justice, or did it deepen the community's wounds? Share your thoughts on right, wrong, and the cost of standing up.